The most important of a
फाइटर
country's
हमारे
air
पास
force,
इतने ज़्यादा
however,
नहीं है।
is their fighter jets.
फाइटर
India's
इंडिया के
fighter
पास
jets
ज़्यादा है।
are composed of equipment from France, such as the Dassault Rafale
Yeah.
and Dassault Mirage 2000. They also
Hello guys, Assalamu alaikum. Myself Malik Mehran और here is so welcome back to Mr. Reaction. आज हम एक न्यू वीडियो के साथ हाजिर हुए हैं। आज की वीडियो का टाइटल है Can India take on Pakistan militaries? सो अगर आप हमारे चैनल पर नए हैं तो सब्सक्राइब करें एंड प्रेस द बेल आइकन फॉर द नेक्स्ट वीडियो। सो बगैर टाइम को वेस्ट किए चलते हैं नए वीडियो की तरफ।
India and Pakistan are emerging to become global powerhouses. India is projected to become this by 2030, and Pakistan is projected to be amongst the largest economies by 2050. These two countries are rising due to their massive population and huge land size. There's just one problem between the two.
इंडिया के पास
Tensions.
पॉपुलेशन
Their relationships
बहुत
have
ज़्यादा
been
है।
sour
वो
due
तो
to long
सेकंड नंबर पे
political,
लैंड साइड भी
territorial,
बहुत है।
and military disputes, most notably over the Kashmir region. This relationship between the two had sparked an arms race and at times unnecessary
तो हमारा
conflicts.
हमेशा इंडिया के
Today,
साथ है ना।
however, everything has changed. India
गड़बड़ी
has
रहती
become
है।
one of the
गड़बड़ी
world's
हर वक्त
largest
रहती है।
economies and a military size that equals some of the largest in the world. So the question is, does Pakistan
America,
still have
China
enough
और
combat prowess to
India।
actually take on India? Or has Pakistan been left behind? Well, to understand that, let us compare each other's military. Let's first talk about the two countries' budgets and military size. Let's first start with India. India's defense budget sits at 74 billion US dollars according to the global firepower. This makes them the fourth largest defense
यार इंडिया का
spender
तो बहुत ज़्यादा
globally,
बजट
just
है।
behind Russia,
हमारा तो
China,
एक
and
हिस्सा भी
the
नहीं मेरे ख्याल
US.
से बनता
They are
होगा।
far ahead of
वो
Pakistan, which
यूएस के
spends
पास देखो
only
कितना है
6.3 billion.
31
In terms
बिलियन।
of manpower, India is
पाकिस्तान
also
के
far
पास
ahead.
सिर्फ
India
6
has a
बिलियन
total
है
military
बस।
personnel estimated to be 5.1 million.
यार ये तो बहुत कम
1.4
है, ये तो
million
ज़्यादा
of
ही
which are
है।
active, 1.1 million are reserve, and 2.5 million are paramilitary. Pakistan, on the other hand, only has an estimated 1.7 million total military personnel. These figures already
ये
show
तो
just how far
ये नंबर
ahead
इंडिया को
India
जाएगा।
is, right? Well, what can be missing about these
Yeah,
figures is a
right.
country's equipment. If Pakistan has the right equipment, whether it be their navy, fighter jets, battle tanks, or even nuclear weapons, then it can immediately push them above India. Well, let's see and compare each of them. Let's first start
हमारे
with
पास
the
equipment
army,
अच्छी
which is
है।
a country's
Yeah।
ground forces.
इसलिए तो
Pakistan's
आप
ground forces
strong
aren't
इतने
that
हैं।
far off from India. Pakistan has over 3,742 tanks, compared to India, though, which has 4,614 tanks. In terms of vehicles deployed by the ground forces,
ज़्यादा
India
इनके पास
far
हमारे से।
surpasses Pakistan. India deploys more than 150,000 vehicles. These can be normal vehicles, but also armored ones. Pakistan only deploys roughly 50,000 vehicles. In terms of artillery, Pakistan
एक
has
लाख का
over
डिफरेंस है इधर तो।
752 self-propelled artillery, 3,258 towed artillery, and 602
टेक्नोलॉजी में भी
rocket
इंडिया बहुत
artillery.
आगे है हमारे
India
से तो।
has only 140 self-propelled artillery, 3,243 towed artillery, and 702 rocket artillery. This shows that Pakistan has sufficiently been investing in its artillery systems. But this also does not equate to military strength. What we need to know is how advanced their tanks, artillery, and armored vehicles are. There are two
Advanced
Indian
tank तो
most
हमारे पास
famous
भी हैं,
battle tanks
पाकिस्तान
that
के
are
पास भी
currently
हैं।
deployed. The first is the Arjun Main Battle Tank, or MBT, and the second is
Arjun
the
Main।
T-90. The Arjun
इसका नाम
MBT
अर्जुन में।
is a famous indigenous tank,
T-90।
which would have become the face of India's ground
हाँ,
forces.
made in India,
It had
made
been
in
struck
India,
with
yeah।
several delays, technical issues, and operational demands. The T-90, on the other hand, is a
इसमें
Russian
थोड़े से
made
fault
tank
आ गए थे।
and has become an integral part of India's ground forces. There are several
Russian
T-90
तो
variants that
बहुत like
India
करते हैं
deploys,
Russian-
which
Russian
it bought
guns हो
in
गए,
different
Russian
years.
tanks।
In 2001, India imported 310 T-90S tanks from Russia. The T-90S Vishma is equipped with
इसलिए
a
रशिया से लिए थे
state-of-the-art
310
jamming
tanks।
system, laser warning receivers, and a 125mm 2A46M smoothbore main gun. Pakistan, on the other hand, also has its own formidable battle tanks. They have the Haider MBT, derived from China's VT-4.
Haider
The
MBT
VT-4 was developed by Norinco and is a third-generation MBT and an export version of China's Type 99G. The Haider MBT has a conventional design with a 125mm smooth-bore gun
Design तो बहुत
capable
प्यारा
of
है इसका।
firing various types of ammunition. along with a 7.62mm coaxial machine gun and a 12.7mm heavy machine gun. Its advanced armor includes composite, reactive, and spaced systems, with explosive reactive armor on the front hull. Beyond tanks, let's also talk about their artillery. One of India's artillery is the Pinaka MR.L. It is a state-of-the-art multi-barrel rocket launcher developed by India's Defense Research and Development Organization. It is an artillery mounted on an 8x8 vehicle. Each launcher can fire 12 rockets in 40 seconds. A single battery neutralizes a 700-meter by 500-meter surface area, with rockets reaching up to 40 kilometers and carrying 100-kilogram payloads. Pinaka rockets can be equipped with various warheads, including high-explosive, anti-tank, and anti-personnel types. One of Pakistan's artillery is the Fatah-2, which is a guided rocket system featuring a single-stage, dual-thrust solid rocket motor, advanced navigation, and a programmable trajectory for improved accuracy. It supports both salvo and non-salvo firing modes and has a range of 400 kilometers for domestic use. The system can deliver 365 kilograms of warheads. Let's now move on to each other's air forces. According to Global Firepower, India has over 2,296 aircrafts in total, of which 606 are fighters, 130 are attack types, 264 are for transport, 351 are trainers, 70 for special missions, 6 tanker fleets, 869 helicopters, and 40 attack helicopters. Pakistan, on the other hand, only has 1,434 aircrafts. 387 of these are fighters, 90 are used for attack types, 60 for transport, 549 are used for trainers, 25 for special missions, 4 for tanker fleet, 352 as helicopters, and 57 for attack helicopters. The most important of a country's air force, however, is their fighter jets. India's fighter jets are composed of equipment from France, such as the Dassault Rafale and Dassault Mirage 2000. They also use some from Russia, such as the Sukhoi Su-30 MKI, and several more are out there. The most famous and essential one for the future, however, is the HAL Tejas. These are domestically produced. The Tejas LCA was developed to replace India's aging MiG-21 fighters, featuring a tailless delta-wing design and a price tag of $25 million per unit. It has a top speed of Mach 1.6 to 1.8. The Tejas also has different variants, the Mark 1A variant and the Mark II, which will have stronger F414 engines and greater weapons capacity. Pakistan's Air Force, on the other hand, is composed of Chinese equipment. They have the J-10C Vigorous Dragon, JF-17 Thunder, and even older U.S. aircrafts such as the F-16 Fighting Falcon. The most famous one used and latest is the J-10C Vigorous Dragon. Let's compare this Chinese fighter jet to the Dassault Rafale, which is also currently deployed by the Indian Air Force. The J-10C and Rafale fighter jets are two advanced fourth-generation aircraft, developed by China and France respectively, and designed for air superiority, ground attack, and reconnaissance missions. The Rafale has a range of 3,700 kilometers and endurance of 9 hours with refueling. The J-10C has a shorter range of 2,940 kilometers and an endurance of 3.5 hours. In terms of weapons, the Rafale uses Mika and Meteor missiles, while the J-10C uses the PL-10 and PL-15. In terms of speed, the Rafale has a max speed of 1.8, whereas the J-10 with a top speed of Mach 2.2. Finally, let's move on to the Navy. India's naval forces is also far above Pakistan. India has over 294 total naval assets, 2 of which are aircraft carriers, 12 destroyers, 12 frigates, 18 corvettes, 18 submarines, and 137 patrol vessels. Pakistan, however, only has 114 naval assets, 8 aircraft carriers, 2 destroyers, 9 frigates, 7 corvettes, 8 submarines, 69 patrol vessels, and 3 mine warfare. This already showcases how far above India is, especially as India has its own aircraft carriers. But let's compare their submarines. India's submarines are also amongst the world's deadliest. They have the Ariant class, which is India's first nuclear-powered submarine. It was developed indigenously at a cost of $2.9 billion. It is based on the Russian Akula class design. Ariant weighs 6,000 tons, measures 110 meters in length, and can accommodate a crew of 95. Pakistan's own submarines, however, are much smaller. They have the SSK Augusta 60B class submarine. These are designed by France's DCN, now DCNS, and are used by the French, Spanish, and Pakistan navies. This submarine features enhanced automation, a crew size of 36, deep diving capabilities up to 350 meters. The submarine has 4 533mm torpedo tubes and can carry up to 16 torpedoes and missiles, including the ECAN F-17 Mod 2 torpedo and MBDA Exocet SM-39 missiles. The Exocet operates in sea skimming mode with a range of 50 kilometers and carries a 165-kilogram warhead. So, as we can see, India is indeed far stronger than Pakistan's military. But Pakistan is keeping up despite being a smaller country and economy. But anyway, do let us know what you think. Thanks for watching.
यार बहुत अमेजिंग वीडियो थी, इंफॉर्मेटिव थी। पाकिस्तान भी हमारा बुरा नहीं है, लेकिन इंडिया थोड़ा फिलहाल ऊपर जा रहा है। आएगा, अपना भी टाइम आएगा कभी इंशाल्लाह। सो थैंक्स फॉर वाचिंग गाइस, टेल अस इन द कमेंट आज की वीडियो कैसी थी। सो मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीडियो में, हमें दे इजाज़त।
अल्लाह हाफिज़।
अल्लाह हाफिज़।